Namaste, one and all ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome back one last time to finish out week 15. It is Quick Takes back one last time to finish this week off. And this time around, well, first of all, quick prayers out to Patrick Mahomes, quick prayers out to Micah Parsons. Hopefully they have speedy recoveries for their long-term injuries. Even Devontae Adams, hopefully we still get to see him again this season. Hopefully, more than likely we are, because I don't think his season ended. But you don't want to, see the biggest of the stars, the best players get injured, no matter the rivalry between the Raiders and Chiefs. No matter how much I might dislike Patrick Mahomes and the way he conducts himself on the field, that's a personal matter. That doesn't kind of condone me from, wishing injuries upon anybody, let alone Mahomes. But yeah, let's move on to a beautiful Monday Night Football action at hand. It is the home of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they are hosting the Dolphins from down south. And in other words, you could call this a hammer down bowl. And in this one, I've been flip flopping. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've been on this side. I've been on that side. I've been on this side. I've been on that side. And at the end, I think I gotta go with the Dolphins. Started out 0-1. I mean, I finished out 0-1 with Monday Night Football last week. Started 0-1 this week as well. So whether it's, if we are finishing off this week with the 0-1 ending as well, it is what it is. We are still at, let's check, 126, 92, and 1. So there's still a long ways to go. But I think, this one, there might be a sneaky little thing. Why do I say that? Because do Steelers have a left tackle? Looking into it, I didn't even know that Broderick Jones is on IR, Calvin Anderson on IR, Andrews Pete, shout out to a former Raider and a Saint. He's out in this one. So who's going to play at left tackle? It's Fautanu moving over. It's Dylan Cook starting out. And on the other side, defensively, you already know what TJ Watt, prayers out to him as well, collapse lung and everything. But the bigger piece for them is Derek Harmon down the middle. Still shows questionable. I try to, look into Schefter's tweets and everything, try to see any updates. Nobody said anything by the time I started recording this, so I don't know because he's a big factor. With Harmon in the lineup, they give up 95 yards. With Harmon out of the lineup, they give up 195 rushing yards, which is why I think without 100% Derek Harmon, without TJ Watt being in this matchup at all, I think if Dolphins can just stay the course, just run the rock, your talent's injured all across, just run the rock behind Devon Achane, give him like 50 touches if needed be, and just run with that. Do not let this game get into Tua's hands, especially a snow game. Tua's gonna struggle. Put it in the hands of your running back. You still have Ollie Gordon who could, give you the tough yardages as well, and rely on your running game because, like I mentioned, the Pittsburgh Steelers can be had. Yaya Black's gonna have to step up in this one. We're gonna have to see how he does, as well as in the back end, James Pierre. He has been this left starting cornerback this year for them, with Jalen Ramsey moving to the free safety spot. So he's going to be out in this one. They just have a lot that they're going to have to deal with. With Miles Kilbrew, I guess, is out in this one as well as Deshaun Elliott, Corey Trice, Dante Kent. They have a couple injuries in the back end, which, in special teams, it might play a factor. Look at the way that the season has unfolded. I kept on saying Mike McDonald's gonna probably get fired by the time they head out to Miami. That has not happened. If anything, since Miami, their season has actually turned a little bit. They look rejuvenated. The back end for the Dolphins. Let's look into that because that's where I kind of lean in with the Dolphins. If you look at the Steelers outside of Metcalf, you don't really have a weapon that you need to worry about. Can somebody sneak into it? That's what the Steelers always hope for. But if you look at the Dolphins as well, they have a Russell Douglas that size wise can match up, and in the nickel is playing phenomenally. You have Jack Jones. Size wise, that might be a tough cover, but they're gonna, do something. But the biggest factor of them all, it's Minka Fitzpatrick. He has always been a savant, playing corner, playing safety, playing at Alabama, playing under Nick Saban. And then he has played with the Steelers, against the Steelers as a Dolphin, and everything. So he's gonna have revenge on this man. Jalen Ramsey, far less so. Minka Fitzpatrick, think he's going to be a factor tonight, a big factor. And if you read it between the tea leaves, it's always been said Steelers, maybe even the Ravens, they never change their defense. So whenever guys, old legends come back, they still know the play calls and everything. This one, Minka probably knows their play calls and tendencies and all of that. That's going to play a factor for the Dolphins for the way hopefully they attack. Um, One factor I do want to give a shout out to the Dolphins offensive line from where they had started to where they are now. They look completely different. The run game is established through them. Aaron Brewer probably playing as a top 15 center, if not top 10, if not even better than that. And then Cole Strange next to him already has divisional experience, played in New England, so Snow's not really going to probably be a factor for him. And then the tackles, you always want to, want the best ones. They are serviceable for now. So for this season, I think they're just trying to get through it. And on a good note, they don't really have much to play for it, though they are still alive in the playoff hunt. Um, it could be interesting if they just, and on a good note, if they're fighting till week 17, they just get rejuvenated going into next season. They're like, hey, we were building something and we can build something going into next season, possibly going forward. We're going to have to see what Tyreek's situation looks like. We're going to have to see more than likely Waddle is to stay because I don't think they get rid of both. But how that entails, what Tua's situation looks like, what Mike McDonald's situation looks like, what GM gets in there. So there's a lot of factors there. But with this win, they burn a lot of things down for the Steelers as well. Because if you look into it, Steelers, as a historical organization, have a 22-game win streak on Monday Night Football. Mike Tomlin himself has a 20-3 record. If they lose this, the Ravens are still in the hunt for the playoffs at the divisional crown. Um, that's going to open up that conversation once again. Harbaugh, Tomlin, should both of them still should they both be there? Should they, be relieved of their duties, both, go separate ways with the organization because you wouldn't want to fire those type of coaches. And all those questions arises, and that's what tomorrow is there for. Catch all of that on PMS. Um, it's going to be one of the boys. It's going to be Tone, or it's going to be um, our boy Gumps. One of those guys are going to come tomorrow. Disappointed, probably. I don't think they'll be sad because they've seen what their teams have been this season. Unless somebody gets really blown out, which I don't anticipate. I think it's going to be a close matchup. Aaron Rodgers in the snow is better, but I don't know. I just, feeling wise, gut feeling, that's where I'm rolling with. Also defensively, if you look into it, Miami from the way they started, you switch from a 3-4 to a 4-3. Now your guys Judon, you have Chubb on the outside. You got Chop Robinson, though you still lost Jalen Phillips. You still have Kenneth Graham, Benito Jones, and Zach Sealer with Matthew Butler on the interior. So more than likely you can make Steelers one-dimensional. And in that one dimension, all they have is DK Metcalf. So hopefully you have a game plan to take that away. Anthony Weaver, I do feel like has past history with the Baltimore Ravens, so it's going to be mean even more special for him. But at the same time, Steelers do have, I think, Asante Samuel and Joey Porter Jr. lining up in the back end with Kyle Duggar and Jalen Ramsey. So that's still a phenomenal secondary that you got to go through. But Steelers defense, that's where the questions have probably been throughout this season because you could argue that the offense is functional while looking at Rodgers' numbers. He has 67% completion, 18 touchdowns, 7 interception on 18 sacks. Those are not godly numbers that we expect out of him, but those are also not terrible numbers. He doesn't really have much to work with either, like I mentioned this whole video. So it kind of entails Steelers season and encapsulates it pretty much in that. But we're going to have to see what this Monday Night Football brings for us. For us, go comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Probably give a word to mouth to all your friends, family, and loved ones, especially with, the most wonderful time of the year coming through. I would love any and all support that comes your way. And as always, you already know this week I will bother you guys 4 times: Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday slate coming at you. So stay tuned for quick takes and everything else that is to come. Till next time, I will see you guys very soon. Love.